Nobel Peace Prize Laureate Malala Yousafzai has made it her life's mission to fight for women's educational rights. 10 years ago, she was on her way home from school in Pakistan when a Taliban gunman shot her in the head because she was going to school. She was just 15 years old at the time. After her recovery, a very long recovery, she created the Malala Fund to help other girls around the world who want to learn. First on CBS Mornings, we're happy to say Malala Yousafzai joins us now from London. Malala, it's good to see you. I'm so glad you are the perfect person to talk about this. I remember that terrible day when you were shot. The world was outraged, heartbroken, and appalled. 10 years later, can you believe, and everybody thought, okay, there will be change. We were all cheering for your recovery. You devoted your life to it. 10 years later, we are still fighting this fight. Does this surprise even you?
Thank you, Gayle, for your time. I'm shocked and I'm devastated by the news of ban on university education for Afghan women. But I'm not shocked. Girls have been prohibited from secondary schools for the last 1.5 years. And we have been doing our advocacy. We are calling for a response from our leaders that they must take it seriously, because we always feared that it would get worse, which is happening right now. It is getting worse for women. And this is 2 decades of progress that women in Afghanistan fought for. It was their activism that made it possible for them to get access to education, to get jobs, to be part of the parliament, to be part of everyday public life. And suddenly that public life is taken from them, that women are erased from the public life in Afghanistan.
You know, when the Taliban regained power, they said they were not going to restrict the rights of women. And the Taliban minister is saying it's necessary now because to prevent the mixing of genders, he says, because some of the subjects are being taught, what they're being taught violates the principles of Islam. What do you say to that logic, that argument?
There are a dozen of Muslim countries in the world. There is no ban on girls' education in those countries. They do not prohibit women from work. So the logic that the Taliban are applying here is actually not making any sense. In Islam, there is actually verses that says that Muslim men and women both should seek knowledge. The first word of the Holy Quran is Iqra, which means read. And I think I would say that they go back and reread everything. And what they will realize is that education is part of the religion as well. So now it's patriarchy. They're failing in the cultural justification, in the religious justification as well. It's really about the future of Afghan people. And it's up to the Afghan people to decide how they want to live their life. It's not up to a few groups of men to decide their futures for them.
Exactly right. It's so hard to understand how you can include half of a population. So what is the answer here, Malala, for true change? Is it mass protests? These women are risking their lives when they take to the streets.
Women in Afghanistan have not stopped their fight for a single day. They are on their streets protesting for their right to freedom, their right to education, their right to work. And that is one thing that is giving us some hope in this moment. But protests are happening for their dignity and their human rights. And I hope that leaders listen to their call soon. It is taking so long. It has already been 1.5 years. And the true success of protests will be when our leaders respond and hear their call to action. They defend their human rights. They make no compromise on the rights of girls and women to education. They ensure that women have the right to work as well. Protests, these calls must be amplified. They must be heard.
Yes. Malala Yousafzai, we thank you so much for your time. I know you recently celebrated your 1-year anniversary, so congratulations, your 1-year wedding anniversary. So we wish you and your family a happy holiday, and we'll talk again. Thank you so much.